Hello, welcome back everyone. Sure, why not? PS2. Hello. Hope everyone had a good retro week. I know we talk about stuff on Discord. I was talking about just wanting to play, I don't know, felt like playing a PS2 game. And I had a Revenant. I know you mentioned too there, Jak and Daxter is like, it's a great series. Everyone keeps raving about it, but I never played it because I didn't have PS2 at the time. I do now. So, like, why not play that? It's a laid-back game, see how it is and everything. Naughty Dog, one of the earlier games, if not the first one, I could be wrong there, but a storied or fabled developer anymore, a very good developer, doing all the Uncharted games, right? And a very, very good developer. And you can tell that this is an early game for the PS2 as well, and it's super polished. There's a little weird on the image there. I'll get to that in a second, why it's off up there, but I'm lazy. Trying not to be a perfectionist, right? But I'm not sure if anyone here has played this game or not. No, Revenant, you said you haven't. But to me, when this was new, I always lumped it together with Ratchet and Clank, I think. There was some ads and stuff like that about the weapons and everything you can get in Ratchet and Clank. I don't remember seeing any ads or anything for this series. But at least there were 3 games and spin-offs you made too. There's a Daxter secret agent thing on PSP, among others. But so it was a pretty big franchise for a while there, but I guess Naughty Dog just wanted to move on, and that's probably why. There's been a re-release, I think, on PS3, and Ratchet and Clank's the same developer? Is it? Did they do that one too? I feel bad now because Naughty Dog is such a good developer, but now I'm just blanking on it. But they probably wanted to move on and everything. I know there's a HD remaster of the first 3 games here available on PS3. I believe you can, at this point, buy the same remaster loose on PlayStation Store. Okay, that's right, because they were kind of like in a friendly rivalry during the time, I'm guessing, or at least was similar. You know, there was that kind of character-driven platformer era from the late 90s to early 2000s, and I feel like this gets lumped in with it, but it's got a amazing animation work, as we'll see, and a surprisingly polished game. You don't think that of PS2, but the PS2 always, to me, feels like the experimental console. There were so many games for it, and there were so many, like, wild experiences on it, compared to maybe the Xbox and the GameCube played a little more safe, I suppose, but so this game is 480i by default. That's the default output of the PS2 when you're playing on a CRT and everything. It really is the default. You can change it in some games. However, this is a mod of the PS2. It's sitting over here. I don't have a camera on it right now. It's the fat PS2 with the hard drive in it. It's a typical thing that, you know, if you're modding a PS2, it's going to be free mech boot and a big fat hard drive in there to fit a whole bunch of ISOs on there. So that's what we have. But with that running, we can run a GSM, which is the, what are they called? Those, I don't remember, or GSM. It's a graphics synthesizer manager, something like that. It's like the chip on the PS2 that handles the output of the video. And it lets you change resolution. So in my case, I have it set to be 480i on like everything, or for my TV, because this is actually a PAL system. And using GSM, when it boots up, you'll see flickering because the PAL kicks in, but then once GSM loads, it goes to NTSC 40i on your set on my CRT TV. But for our sakes, capturing 40i is really troublesome unless you have a good scaler, which I don't have right now. Probably plan to get one at some point. That can do good de-flickering and everything from de-interlacing. You can do that through OBS, you can do it through other things, but it's some mixed results, if you will. The capture device I have has de-flickering, or I shouldn't say de-flickering, I should say de-interlacer built in, but it works all right. So I used the GSM setup software, and I forced the console to 480p instead. So that's what we're looking at right now. This is 480p capture, and you'll see some graphical oddities because this game was not designed with 480p in mind. So it makes it, we might see some graphical oddities and some weird stuff we'll see, and then we have to roll back to 480i. But capturing 480p is a lot easier because it's basically 640 by 480. But keep that in mind, this game was like 2001, so the internal resolution of the game isn't that high, right? So it's still going to look the way it looks. Probably fine on a big screen, but if you really look in, it's really like, you know, pixels are pretty, you know, what they are. That is true. I will say that I'm playing on the PVM right now, but because I'm playing on 480p and this game is not designed for it, the resolution on the monitor is all wonky, and that's fine. I can play it this way. It looks amazing on the PVM and 480i. So really, really good. You can tell it was designed for it. So I think the logo is moving. Hey, Doppler. Like, you see the little flickering going on with the logo? I think that's because, again, it's, you know, it's upped out. It was never designed for this resolution. The logo was never, the rendering of it. So you'll probably see some errors and problems around that, but the game is generally fine. I think that this is a better option than trying to run it at 480i and then dealing with the interlacing effects. With the 480p, it gets a lot cleaner capture. So there's going to be some graphical oddities, and we'll see. It might be some game-breaking bugs. We don't know. I did find a compatibility list where people are listing kind of like different resolutions for different PS2 games, and a lot of them handle it very well. It just happens this one is like, eh. I had to do a little scaling and stuff like that with the image to make it fit. I tried a couple other games with the 480p, and it looks great. So it's just a matter of like which ones work. And for those that are wondering, I did try a few other scaling options as well. One is my home-built GBSC, which is flopping around here. Not in a good state. I need to redo this one. It did not work very well. I think I just soldered it poorly, so I buy a production one. I also have this that I got from work, actually, throwing out. Hi, Bruce Lee. Welcome. Doing pretty good. We're talking about scalers, because that's always interesting. This is a Creston, like, you know, commercial grade one you see in conference rooms, stuff like that. And it's actually a upscaler to 1080p. And it does a pretty okay job, but not for video games, I think. For the PS2, I was curious to try it. It's alright, but not better than I can get from here with the 480p. And there's a lot of options here. You can basically have RGB in, and they can take S-video, composite component, RGB, because it's made in a commercial setting. It's going to be very plug and play. You plug this in and you get an output. And this is meant for like, hey, I'm going to plug in a, you know, projector or something. So they don't want to have to mess with that kind of stuff. So it's very compatible and broad. But the image is like, all right. But again, it wasn't made for video game. It was made for presentations, you know, VHS, DVD playback, that kind of stuff. But I might experiment with this more and then test it properly. Maybe make a video on it. I don't know, to see what people think about it. But it comes with a remote and everything. And it's, again, it's meant to be in a conference room, and that's kind of where I got it from. So it's not, you know, it is what it is. But it's an all right scaler if this is what you happen to have or find cheap or used secondhand or whatever. They're not certainly used much anymore because there's not many needs for scaling analog content anymore. You know, everyone has HDMI. So, well, yes, again, we're playing this on a real PS2 then. Highly recommend, Revenant, if you got your fat PS2 ready to go, to take the plunge. It's a little bit of pain to get it all working because the installation of the games has to be done like the real installation. You can't just drop an ISO on here. I think there's work being done to make that happen. There's also the memory cards that could read stuff, but in this case here, this is the classic free McBoot memory card, the fat hard drive, spinning a regular disk in here, that's vibrating my desk, with a lot of games on it. We can check out some other stuff if we get bored with this game. But we're going to play Jak and Daxter tonight. Again, I have only played the beginning a little bit. I tried it out to see if there's a save there. Because I was just playing it one time to try it because I'd never played it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play this more. So we'll start from the beginning. Yeah, and the thing with the PS2 installing the games, you have two options. Basically, you can take the hard drive out and plug it into your computer, which usually is a SATA drive, right? And you can use software to install the games there. Or you can set up an FTP server on it and you can install the games remotely. Now, when you buy the adapter, the official Ethernet adapter with the connector on it is a parallel device, a parallel connector. So you can only use SATA drives. If you want to use SATA, you have to get one of the ones from AliExpress or whatever, and that's fine, but that does not come with Ethernet. You can either swap them out to get Ethernet going. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I think that it probably runs fine to my knowledge, but since the ISOs are really big, it gets pretty expensive pretty quickly. I don't think you will get much performance increase on loading or anything. I don't think so, because it's waiting for the bus speed and everything, right? Now, random seeks, that kind of stuff would probably help. But the improvement from disk loading to hard drive loading is already dramatic. So I don't know. I think there's been a lot of tests done with that too. But I think that the more common consensus I saw was that using a laptop hard drive for the reduced heat, like a 2.5-inch spinning one, was a good choice because the reduced heat and vibration. Now, I have a 7200 RPM drive in here, which is not ideal because it does vibrate more, it's noisier, more heat, but so far it's been fine, but I haven't clocked that many hours on it, so we'll see. But it's been fine so far. Let's start a new save. Saving data.
I have spent my life searching for the answers that my father and my father's fathers failed to find.
Got a pretty fun humor in the game too. I wish I had subtitles. I haven't found that, but there's something peculiar about the early PS or PS3 games. So this is on PlayStation 2. So this would have been in I think this game came out in 2001 or something. Someone could correct me, but yeah.
But the rocks
Back
do
in
not
Daxter.
recall.
Precursor.
Even the rocks do not recall.
But Naughty Dog's animation work is just impeccable, and they convey so much emotion. But again, we're playing PS2, forced into 480p, which is still, you know,
interested in the search for truth and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway?
I would assume so, yeah. I don't know, I guess. Because that would have been pretty late, right? Unreal 3. I mean, the PS2 had a long shelf life, because it was so popular and sold for so long in many regions, right? So there was quite a lot of games ported to it that you wouldn't expect. There's Half-Life 1 is on here, and it plays really well, actually. Good evening, Nugopolis, welcome. Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of people might have really fond memories of this game, where I feel bad I just don't have it because I didn't play it. But during this era, I think I mentioned before, I was really into MMOs at the time. So that made me play consoles very little. But then when they were fire selling out the GameCubes at the end of their life cycle, this would have been 2004 or something, like 2005 maybe, I bought one and really enjoyed it, but I didn't have a PS2 until a little bit later. So, a bit of a story. This particular PS2, which is a PAL version, let me know if the audio is okay, if the game volume is too loud or anything, but I found Mega Man X6 for PlayStation 1 in store, and didn't have any way to play it. But I saw it, and I love Mega Man, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to buy it. So I went and bought it, and then like, I don't have any way to play it. And then they were fire selling out PS2s. So instead of buying food and stuff, and, you know, doing the student thing, living on ramen, and begging my parents for more money, I bought a PS2 on fire sale, so I could play it, and that's this PS2. When I did that, I posted in a forum saying, I'm nuts, in a forum I was in around my guild, Dark Ages Camelot, and I said, like, man, this is just crazy, I just spent this money, you know, I was trying to get people to sympathize and make me feel better. And a girl commented on that, saying, I don't think it's that crazy. I'm now married to that girl, we're husband and wife, so it's a long story, the reason I came to America. But that PS2 has some story behind it, to say the least. So that's when I started playing PS2 a little bit, and games were pretty cheap then too. The modding scene was complicated, for the soldering chips on the PS2 in the beginning were quite complex to my knowledge compared to like Xbox. So, but yeah, it's a really cool system. There's so many games on here.
I told you we shouldn't have come here, and you listened.
Oh, his friend turned into that thing. Animation work is just fantastic.
Okay. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, I did my best to get the capture and scaling alright. It was a lot of back and forth, but hopefully it looks alright for the stream here now. So, and again, you might be used to seeing higher assets on this, or higher quality assets, because you might probably see capture from like the PS3 HD remaster and like that. So, yeah, the PS3, we did the same thing. We bought it, and it's the launch model. We still have it because they were given the, you know, send in a coupon and get 5 Blu-rays back. We used it for our Blu-ray player forever. And
because in my professional opinion,
that's
And
what we used it for. I think I put the... So it came with a 60 gig hard drive from the beginning, and I think my wife upgraded her MacBook. It had a 320 gig hard drive in it, so I took that out and I put that in the PS3, and it's still in there. So it still looked up. I mean, I don't use it a ton, but it's a neat option because it does upscaling and it plays all the backwards compatible PS1 and PS2. So that's a really good option too for playing these older games, but playing on real hardware. So.
None of the three sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while.
There's a lot of exposition here, but it feels like it has a lot more polish than I would expect the game of this era. Naughty Dog has always been really good with that, so...
But you could fly over it.
Yeah, you're right, Bruce. I think that an SSD, I think there's probably a test on it. I could have sworn, maybe it was RetroFrog who did like a big test of different drives. I think so. He made like a big blog post with it to talk about which drives. He did actual performance testing, and I think like the, and I could be remember wrong, but I think it was that the performance increase to an SSD was pretty negligible in a sense, that there wasn't much it needed because the bus speed was the limiting factor. It just couldn't read that fast, so like it was just waiting for the bus at that point. So it seems to be the price to performance mid range was it's like I could have sworn he said a 5500 RPM laptop drive was kind of the sweet spot for it. But that was all might have been written when SSDs were more expensive. So maybe I'll find an article again. Yeah, the animation work, it feels like a Pixar movie. I mean, it's really, really good. I was a little bit blown away by how smooth the animation work is and everything. So here now, we have extra control of our character, Jak. He can jump, he can smash and spin, and... Now, again, I'll say, like, it plays the way you'd expect. There's ledge grabs and... you know, kind of 3D action adventure games you're expecting. Now, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, for those joining a little later here now, we're scaling this, forcing the rendering engine on the PS2 to output 480p, so it's easier to capture. This game was never designed for 480p. We may run into graphical glitches. From what I understand, it should be fine, but if we find like, oh weird, that like texture is like all off or stuff like that, that's not my capture. That is because I'm forcing the PS2 to do something it was not meant to do. But as you've probably seen in some games in Gran Turismo, like 4 and stuff, you can set it 1080i. The PS2 is more than capable of it if the game is coded for it. So in this case, here we're basically forcing the system level to do it instead.
These floating
collectibles.
are precursor orbs. Collect enough of them, and some of the villagers will give you a power cell in exchange.
Trying to find power cells, and it's a platformer from the early 2000s, so it's got to have collectibles. It's a little bit of a comfort food kind of game, right? Bright, lush style, fun gameplay. And exploration, jumping around. I feel there's been, you know, a little bit of resurgence of this kind of thing, especially people get nostalgic for this sort of game now, too. I noticed Penny's Great Adventure, Penny's Big Breakaway Adventure, something like that, came out pretty recently. And that looks like a blast, too. I should play that sometime, too. But it kind of harkens back to that kind of game. The tutorial area, right? Saving data. Do-do. I mean, you know, it's 60 FPS, and this game looks... This game looks absolutely gorgeous on a proper CRT. Again, I'm playing on a PVM, and because the upscaling thing going on, it is not ideal. It looks a lot better 480i, honestly. But it's fine. This capture is as clean as I can make it, so... But it feels like when you get into these kind of games, like, what did you miss out on that you didn't play? You know, what are some of the games that you never experienced? Power Cell, I think. Got a save thing. ecos.
That last scoutfly had a power cell. I'll bet if you collect all 7 in each area, you can find even more power cells.
4 power cells.
That's Blue Eco, which contains the energy of motion. Blue Eco allows you to run fast.
Because there were so many of these games here. Because yeah, Ratchet and Clank comes to mind because of the two-character thing, but you know there were so many games that came from PS1 going into this. Power. Collectibles.
Each Blue Eco cluster you pick up increases the time you can use its power.
Yeah, it is a little bit in a sense because think about interlacing. You have basically half the image being rendered right to stretch it out to a bigger size. It's a 240p that's alternating in the lines, and that's why you get that flickering. So at 480p, you're rendering every line. That's progressive scan, is that every line is being rendered, so you get sharper edges and stuff like that. But then it's the same way that with pixel art. Like if the game is designed around a certain resolution, they might look off when you're playing it on one that's not. The biggest challenge is that, again, this game looks amazing 480i on a CRT, but capturing 480i is a pain in the butt, and I just don't have a good solution for it that's at least up to the way I want to look at it. So this was a good compromise for now. You can actually force the PS2 to scale like to 1080i if you wanted to, so we could change this to 1080i now, but the game was just like, would not like that. Yeah, and that was the same thing too. Before, you know, I had consoles that I could play quote-unquote everything I wanted on. Then buying the games got expensive, especially as a student. You have to kind of make choices. And I was into the GameCube at the time, playing, you know, Metroid Prime. I was playing Star Fox Adventures, F-Zero DX, you know, that kind of stuff. So I was having a good time on my own rights. The GameCube was really good in that era.
Will give you a full charge of Blue Eco, letting you use it for the maximum time.
Power. Yeah, so that's the thing. I did have a little spare cash because in Sweden you get assistance for living and stuff. So I would go to the game store and buy used games, and we always had a it's a college town, so there was a lot of like game stores. So we would just, even if we didn't buy much, it wasn't, don't get me wrong, we weren't like buying a ton. We would make a little tour across town and walk. I'm missing the point here of this jump here. There we go. We'd make a little loop around town, get lunch on the weekend, and just hit a few game stores and look for deals. Because that's the thing, we look for like really good deals. And that was it. So
pick up 50 small green ecos or one big green one to increase your health.
When you say controller chip, because you can use the 3-meg boot just fine in the Slim, the problem is the storage situation, because the Slim doesn't have a hard drive slot, right? And your options then at that point are you can use a solution that uses USB, but the USB is 1.1, and a lot of the FMVs and stuff are going to run really choppy on that. It's not fast enough. It's not even as fast as a DVD drive. The other option is that there's now a I can't remember what it's called, but it's a memory card that has a SD card in it. So you can read from that, but then depending on how large your SD card is, because PS2 games are pretty big, they're DVD sized, so they're several gig a pop, and you fill up a drive real quick that way. You know, imagine a 64 gig micro SD card, and you put 4 gig DVDs on there. That runs out of space pretty quickly. There we go. And the most extreme option is, I think that there's a YouTuber that he modded in. There is actually a PETA header on the motherboard, and you can actually add it back through some extensive soldering.
You can jump once, then jump again in the air to reach even higher ledges.
Ah, yes, the double jump. Never will explain it. You can just do it. EBA was a great game or system too. Played that a lot. With a flashcard, of course, because you know. Whoa. Ow. Did I fall all the way down? I sure did. 3D platforming, ladies and gentlemen, is great. Like to see in a crowd, right? Well, there's something just very comforting and pretty looking with these level of graphics. And I have a soft spot for the you know, GameCube, PS2, Xbox era, which we've played quite a few times now. But it's I don't know. This has a very specific charm to it because it's good looking, without being over the top. Making our way back, see, like nothing happened. I'm good at video games. So what was everyone playing during that era then? So we have Game Boy Advance. What were we playing on it? I'm curious to see what people were playing. I said I was mostly into MMO most of the time, but then I also played GameCube when I got one of those, so. There you go. Or it would, yeah. And I think that the HD remaster of these probably play really well because it just has that, you know, chunky enough graphics.
But that's nothing compared to the challenges that lie ahead.
Then no problem. We got the moves, eh, Jack? We'd love to stay and chat, Big Green, but we're itching to get on with our adventures.
Fine.
So yeah, this is friend has turned into this little weasel guy.
Then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green eco-collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the
I mean like early 2000s. So 2001, 2002, 2003, that kind of era.
Right there.
But I was very into MMOs. Playing a lot of Darkest Camelot, City of Heroes, Adventure World of Warcraft when that came out, but then sidestepped a little bit and played. I was playing also Game Boy Advance as well, because I did enjoy that also a lot. Got a flashcard for it really early. Oh, camera is always the tricky part on 3D adventure games. Like, where's it gonna go? Who knows?
Hey, baby. What do you say you and I go cruising on this A-Grav Zoomer?
Rule number 1, I don't date animals.
You don't know what you're missing.
Yes. But yeah, the animation is just really top notch.
If you need something to keep you busy, my father always talked about an ancient precursor.
But it's still
pipeline
early
hidden deep
2000s
underground.
video game design
Some of these
characters,
pipes end in vents from which eco flows freely, and some have been capped off so that the eco is sealed back. There must be a way to turn the capped vents on. I traced part of the pipeline back to the Forbidden Temple. Maybe you should look there for some type of
Why do we have a
switch.
Forbidden Temple? And why should I look at the Forbidden Temple? I think Jack doesn't say anything. Kind of style, not talking. You're right, really, if you did remake this with some more modern assets, or even just make it more cel-shaded or whatever to make it look, you know, its own unique art style, it would hold up. Side quest to talk here, you're gonna talk to some people.
Hey! It looks like scout flies are always in red boxes.
Don't tell me that
Especially
you
compared to
have
playing some other
problems as well.
PS2 games, and it's just the art direction, art style is not nearly as exciting as this game, so.
Now this. See those gears up there, boys? See them?
You're living in a dorm then to play that kind of stuff? Because yeah, I lived in my own apartment in college, so I had friends and we had good internet, so we could play it together that way, but we'd get together and play once in a while.
Frightened to go out and find out what's happened.
But otherwise,
Did you
all
pay
on
the
the
bill?
nose.
Yeah. Oh.
Soul Calibur, yep, good choice.
Now look, if you two fix the eco beam, I'll give you a power cell. Oh, and another
Yeah, and
thing,
it's interesting because I've been playing Dragon Age of Elgar for a few days now, but it kind of trades off that hyper-realism that Inquisition tries to go for, that Mass Effect tries to go for. I'm not saying hyper-realism that it's not there, but it tries to be as realistic as it can, and instead it foregoes, it tries to do more of a, I mean, I wouldn't say cartoony, but a more stylized art style. I think it suits it really well. I think it was a good choice, honestly, because it just, I know people are kind of complaining a little bit about that, but I think it was a good choice. It makes the characters look pretty cool, and I feel an art style like that holds up better. I remember playing in Dragon Age Inquisition thinking like, wow, this is so like almost photorealistic, and you go back now and it's like, not quite.
Hello
The
there,
mustaches in this village are just glorious. I don't know what to call that. It's like
I
a...
wish to set off on my journeys yesterday, but I seem to be a spot short on the old.
Yeah, if you take this and just kind of keep that almost like blocky cel-shaded style, holds up. I remember last Jak and Daxter, I think, was there one on PS3? I don't remember.
Annoying, miserably ugly one might have just pilfered them as a sort of a spot of fun. Anyway, would you be kind enough to
I wonder what they, I mean, I assume this is their own engine, but their animators, I mean, the expressiveness of the characters, I can't think of anything else that were like that at that time, because most of the time they were pretty blocky characters. I think back to ones that I thought were really, really good, like Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube, and they still weren't animating as expressively as they are here. Impressive. Most impressive. Well, look at that. I gotta go collect that. Look at that. He's like walking. I mean, it reacts the way you expect it to. That's what's the impressive part, I think. I kind of wish I would have played this back then, but I didn't have a PS2 when this game came out, and then when I got it, later on, I was playing specific games, and honestly, I was playing a lot of PS1 games and backwards compatible stuff. I played like GTA Vice City, I played a Transformers game, a few of those.
Haven't you ever seen a muse before? It's a little glowing
but I didn't have
your size, full of spunk,
dude.
crazy as a lark.
Oh, I get it. Like a sidekick.
As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
without my
it's very
muse,
impressive.
I just can't sculpt. But with her
Awesome.
around,
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people were playing those
beauty in
multiplayer games.
everything,
I kind of wish I was at the time, but again, I was totally into MMOs. Because I played Ultima Online first before going to college. Then I played Darkest Camelot. Went to college, kept playing that obsessively so, to the detriment of my academic progress, as most MMOs are when you get hooked on them. And then moving on to City of Heroes, played that for a while, and then hopped a few ones until World of Warcraft came out, and like everyone I knew who was in guilds and online went to World of Warcraft, and that was the big one, and then everyone played that for years. So, good one. Anything down here to explore? Probably. Oh, look at that. Secret. But this feels like a very comfort food kind of game, right? It's easy to play, it's got a nice art style, cool mechanics. I don't know where I'm going, but sure. All right. That's the first enemy I ran into. I think that's why, to me, I know that it was divisive at the time, but Wind Waker, like, it holds up really well, the graphics, because it doesn't try and, like, don't get me wrong, I love the art style in Twilight Princess and that kind of stuff too, but just specifically, Wind Waker is gorgeous still, I think, even on GameCube itself, and it's something like that, you know, a specific art style can hold up longer. Ow, that was not a good choice. Besides, like, pure high quality as possible. The camera. Can I get a camera here? A lot of explosions here. I'm gonna go back down here. I think there were some collectibles down there. Oh! Ow! I did not see that.
I'll say something really really teary at the funeral. Like, how am I gonna get change back now?
Harsh. Yeah, we actually, we ended up modifying our Wii U so we can play that kind of stuff. My son has been playing some of those games now. He's been playing Twilight Princess, for example. He's really enjoying that at HD, and Wind Waker and those. And that's really, besides that and emulation, there's no good way to play them. And you'd think that Wind Waker and Twilight Princess re-release on Switch would be a no-brainer at this point. I know that, you know, they already re-released it on Wii U, but Wind Waker on the Switch at 1080p would just be glorious. Like, just do it. It would be just easy money. I like those bombs. Hit me. Ah. You can't hit me. Not close enough. There we go. I'm really curious to see how they're going to be able to pull off switching over to a new platform. I mean, Nintendo's been running on the Switch now for quite a while, and it's a great system, but, you know, it's a little long in the tooth now. Collecting the eggs, 'cause why not? Hey!
That pelican just snagged a power cell! Let's
See
go
that.
kick some big bird butt!
Attitude. Whoop! I blew up that guy. Who's launching all these things anyway? I don't think I've just any similar games like this have this kind of 3D platformer. Like, my goodness, I'm sure there are, but power orb. Yeah, I mean, it's working for them, right? They're printing money, and they have for a long time, so you can't argue with the results. And the shareholders, I am a shareholder of Nintendo, I'd like one share or something like that, are, of course, very sensitive to this, how the next system's going to launch. I know they announced it's going to be backwards compatible, and that, of course, you know, kind of figure, but it's nice of them to confirm it. Because certainly I was worried about that, and my son is very excited because he loves Breath of the Wild and would love to replay it in a remastered fact. Oh, really? Yeah, they don't seem to care much about the, or at least they didn't, about the back catalog. I mean, kind of mum and, yeah, you're right, I didn't care about their history. It's just they've treated it in a very weird way when they have such a rich history. Like, how they were, like, surprised that the NES Classic and the SNES Mini sold. Like, why would anyone want this? I'm like, of course people want this. They grew up on this, and they're still playing Nintendo games. Give the people what they want, and they were just surprised that it sold well. Like, obviously it will sell well.
We scrounged enough orbs to trade for a power cell. Let's get back and make the switch already.
Well, eventually, we're at the bird. Yeah, this is like almost open world going on here now. Yeah, and I think that they said, I was listening to Digital Foundry, and they got shown, like, backroom at Gamescom, I think, or something like that, or maybe earlier. And they said they were being shown a demo of Breath of the Wild running at 4K because it's most likely going to use upscalers, right? And it might be 4K for dock mode or something like that, but not 4K that in the way we might, you know, expect native 4K or anything. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. It's Nintendo, so they'll still sell well.
What a weird-looking thing! I'll bit, we can get this open if you power up with that zappy blue eco stuff.
But where? Have to make the run all the way here. Yep. So I can actually, I can knock this. Yep.
Good job. Now meet me down here
Oh,
by the egg.
Yeah, I think it's, it's 4K itself is not important. I think, the Switch has proven quite
We
clearly.
might want to talk to the bird watcher and see if we scramble that flood egg.
I don't know, I'm getting there. I don't want to take fall damage because I'm low on health here. As Nintendo has proven, a good game is what sells the system, not, maximum resolution, the best quality graphics and everything. That's not as important for people. Don't blow me up. And I feel like Nintendo's not going to push HDR. They have never really pushed a graphical envelope, right? Even though the GameCube was a capable system, probably the most capable of the equivalent generation, I feel. I guess that's Super Nintendo. But the newer stuff, they've always been like, hey, you know what? We're just going to do our own thing. And that's worked very well for them, so I believe the Switch is the... Can't get those things knocked down.
Say goodnight, Jack.
Dang it. Please tell me I didn't have to redo this whole storage stage now. I really hope I don't have to redo this whole stage. Really? Well, there's some things that that are still, and it might be that the events that happen on this stage here now are done, but not the collectibles. We'll see.
Good job. Now meet me down here by the egg.
I should stop hopping on them and just... The GameCube was just, fantastic. It really was a great system, but it's just overshadowed. And the games that were on it were just amazing, really. Multi-platform games were good and everything. It was a solid system. I really enjoyed having the GameCube. Played quite a bit of it.
Oh my! I hope the poor dear's okay. Here's a power cell for your valor.
Well, don't take the power cell. Mine.
No!
Look, isn't that cute?
Mama.
It thinks you're its mama.
I remember playing
Gotcha, Mom. You see
Metroid
any
Prime and
feathers
thinking
here?
like, wow, these graphics are just the best I've seen. I remember seeing the first time you see the reflection of Samus's face in the visor, or like when she puts her hand up, it's just, the attention to detail was amazing as well. So just a fantastic game. One that we have streamed, obviously. But what I'm going to try as we're playing these games is to not be afraid to play more of it to see if we can complete it. If I'm enjoying it and other people are enjoying it, then I might make a series out of it and try and finish the game. Streaming it like with Metroid Prime, for example. I know we parked that, but I might revisit it. We'll see. Evening, Johnny. Welcome. Let's see. Do I have enough of those things to turn in now? I think it's like a half semi-exploration game here. Just punch things. It's super effective. Got 111, so I can't return. Wife and I have been playing a bit of Final Fantasy 14, and when you level up, you get that little fanfare, and I wanted to play into the full win sound for Final Fantasy 7. I never played a remake either on that one. I should play that one. We have it. We started playing it one time together, but I was surprised how big this game is, because I wouldn't think so with the... Oh, just a lot of collectibles and a lot of things. Is that what's going on? Yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, I love the original. That's what got me into Eastern RPGs. I was just... Where did I go? I just loved it because it was just... I played it at the right time and my age and everything, but... So... John, you're saying that this game has the thing where it's just there's just too many collectibles and stuff like that. I know Donkey Kong 64 as well. It's got that where you just have to run around forever to collect things.
Congratulations, but you have so much to do, I won't waste your time. By the way, if things don't work out, Daxter could always get a job controlling the village rat problem.
I feel that for the quality, you wouldn't expect the game to be that big, but whoops, it is. All right. Hot Dog Clay did a really good job with this, so bang for your buck then if you had that much. But at the same time, if you're doing the same thing over and over, but the environment looks varied enough and it looks really cool. And I really want to see if there's any equivalent games being made, new ones that are using this kind of not art style directly, but just this kind of.
Hey, seagulls! Let's buzz them for kicks.
This is like random collectibles everywhere. It's awesome. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII definitely opened up. It was an investment to get that far in the story and everything. And I did finish it and got, you know, knifed it around and Bahamut Zero and collected all the stuff and had a good time, but it was definitely a drag. But I played it on PC with my Voodoo accelerator, so I remember it looking really good compared to the PlayStation 1 thing, using it as a selling point for my Voodoo, of course, justifying it. It really has the vibe to it. Was Naughty Dog was Crash as well, right? But yeah, I should really test it out too. I know that the Final Fantasy VII uses a lot of that MIDI stuff. You can use Yamaha stuff like the XG, like I said. Well, the Dream Blaster, but the it has support for the Yamaha specific stuff, right? So good looking game too. So far, I haven't noticed anything with the 240p thing. Did everything here? Return to the village. Go up on that windmill there. Footprints and the stuff. You're picking up dirt. Yeah. Most impressive. There's quite a few games like this during this era. It was as was the style at the time, right? I feel like this character, like Jack here, he just punches things. Like he doesn't have any flair or... I guess he uses Daxter a little bit too. Otherwise, he's just punching things. That's his thing. Simple punch and a spin. Oh, he spins him around. Oh, just that bird. And swim out and... You can dive too, huh?
Dive for those orbs, Jack! Dive!
Why do you know, like... Alright, whatever. Yeah, it feels like it needs a character weapon of some kind. It doesn't have that. I mean, it works. It's fine. Still.
Yeah, so we got a Precursor launcher here, but you aren't powered up with the blue stuff. So it ain't gonna help us!
I know. There's a box over there. I'm glad the boxes are like flipping around, but I feel like the closest we get is the newer Ratchet & Clank games, which are admittedly gorgeous. The one on the PS4 and then also the one on the PS5. Those are just, man, that's a good use of rendering tech and everything, and they look just amazing. Again, sticking with an art style, right, instead of just trying to be photorealistic. Oh, come on.
Quick! We have to get to the power cell before the Pelican scoops it up again.
Where did it go? There it is. Aha! I'll take that, birdie. That was close to. Yes. Good transitions there. There's definitely secrets to unlock and find here, because there's still areas that you have to get to. The question, and like Johnny was saying there, is that, you know, so much to collect that is it worth it to get everything in this game? I mean, it's pretty crazy to think that this is a game of that length on the PS2. To me, that era didn't seem to chase the extreme lengths yet, you know, that we get today with our Assassin's Creeds and your open world games in general. It just wasn't something that was possible or developers were interested in. And also development times were shorter. And games that were so absurdly huge that we have today. It's a waterfall. It's got to be something back here, right? Yeah, I see something. Unspoken rule. Gotta have something behind a waterfall in a video game. Preferably a real secret, but that will do. I should go back to town now and turn in the ones I have. I'm a little curious about that fort, though. That's all annoying over there. Oh, I see. There's a blue thing up there. What we can do over here? Check it out. Whoa! Okay then. Guess you're not supposed to go there. Well, that got me back to town quicker. Wow. Fair enough. Alright, who was it that needed the turn-in for listing?
Oh, hey, dudes. Did you find my muse yet?
I did not. I forgot who needed what. There's a gulp gone.
So, you want to make a contribution? Good. A sizable one, I hope. Yes. Oh, it is a sizable contribution.
Okay,
I
dude.
hope this power cell adequately represents my gratitude.
Oh. You need again? I ain't not gonna trade more? No. There's boxes back here. Wreck your stuff.
Back already? And without fixing the eco beams?
Oh, fine, my
Your
goodness.
village needs you, boys.
I get there. One thing at a time. Gotta remember who I need to talk to. It's not exactly quest markers in here.
What? You don't have the full stash? Well, any less than 90 Precursor orbs, and I shan't have a chance to get underway, dear boy.
Fine. They need 90 orbs. We got some power orbs now. I'm gonna talk to the girl up there with the thing and the stuff and whatever. Is there any information here over? Okay, so yeah, bring 90 orbs to the mayor. Bring 90 orbs to your uncle. Free 7 scout flies. That's what I have in the village here. And little beach. Okay. Did that. Unblock the eco harvesters. Did that. Did that. Chase the seagulls. Done that. Explore the beach. Task completed. Free 7 scout flies. So there's more to collect there. And we have the Geyser Rock. That was probably the start area, so we did all those, right? Yeah, task complete. But it's probably the beach. And also the village here. Let's see. Run up here and take a look again. There's something under there, too. Oh, yes, the collectathon of the era. What's the style at the time? Here? No. But it's okay when it's the environment is this gorgeous.
Be careful with that. I'm trying to figure out how to transport the zoomer using the trans pads the precursors left all over the world. If you come across one of these pads, I can lock onto your communicator's location and send you the zoomer. Keep an eye out for a trans pad when you explore Misty Island and wherever else you go.
Okay, so there's nothing new from there, so we have to do more collectathon. Appears there's more stuff in the actual town here as well.
Never be like his uncle. I don't care what the others say. Oh, it's the conquering heroes. Good. I wanted to talk with you two about something serious. There appears to be quite a bit of lurker activity on Misty Island. I can see
Misty
them
Island.
bombarding the Precursor silo from my lookout
My
tower.
kids were, or at least my oldest one was
Lurkers
really
will
into
get
Thomas the
out and release
Tank
the
Engine
dark
when he was
eco.
younger,
We
and
can
there's a
all
movie
end
there,
up
Misty
running
Island
around
Rescue.
looking as
So there was a
ridiculous
lot of
as
talk about
this
Misty
and all
Island there.
those
Misty
special
Island, that's the first thing that came to mind for me.
Jack, it's time for you
Misty
to
Island
prove your
Rescue.
worth. Get the fisherman to let you take his boat back to Misty Island. Get to the top of the Precursor silo and take out that cannon.
And what about
I'll
me?
take out the cannon. All right.
You? Why don't you mop my floors? They seem to have lost their shine lately.
Okay, so talk to the fisherman. Where's the camera? Oh, yeah, that's always the thing with 3D games, especially older ones. Is the camera is. I can control with the right stick a little bit, but it still has a mind of its own. Excuse me, it kind of decides where to go all by itself. It's a little bit dizzy. I kind of want to do the Austin Powers like jump in effect though. Bring it down here. Oh. Check it out at least. And those are other areas I'll go to eventually there. Do anything here? Is it just thought it was like a little cave there, but no. Swimming along. I'm sure if you've seen speed runs of Wind Waker, the ones that are like, you know, the record ones, because there's a way you can do a trick that makes Link build up speed in the water, and they actually never get the boat, and they just fly across the ocean once they get it.
Did you see the size of the bite that lurker shark took out of the fisherman's boat? We best stay way clear of them. I don't think we can tackle a creature that dag nasty.
Oh, talking about the fish. One that ate me. What's that stuff over there? Check that out first. We'll go to the boat. Forgot what I was talking about. I'm sure it's very important. Camera. This way. Thank you. Yeah, there's stuff over there. Let's check that out. I double jumped. Double jump seems a little wonky. Trigger all the time, or if I have to be at the right height to trigger it or something. A lot of collecting. Oh, do you have another quest for me?
Oh, it's you. Oh, just resting my tired
That's crazy.
bones.
Oh yeah,
I've been trying to get
the
those
Wind
unreal
Waker, because
cows back
it's
into
hilarious
the
to
pen
watch
all
because
day.
it takes a long
Some
time to set
strange
up,
creatures tried to
but it
steal 'em
saves
earlier.
so much time in the
Think
game
you
as a
could help
requirement
old
for the
man
speed
trying
run.
to get 'em back into the
And
corral?
they just shaking, and eventually he just goes flinging off. And I think they cracked that game wide open to speed run a while back too, because they figured out a way to get past the Hyrule Castle barrier. It's a story progression barrier. You have to do something else first, but then someone was able to find a way. Fire Canyon. Sounds ominous. Do I have to go to Fire Canyon yet? guess so. Oh, there's a save too. All right. Here we go. Well, this doesn't look pleasant. I don't think I can be here yet.
You don't have enough power cells to fuel my heat shield.
Yep.
You can't cross Fire Canyon until you collect enough
It's
power
confirmed.
cells.
Jak and Daxter is a Metroidvania. But yeah, the stuff that they can figure out is just nuts. And it depends on, right? There's some games that I enjoy the speedruns that are glitchless, and that depends on the game, like how if it's practical or not. But the ones that go fast and use skill are really fun. And I think the speedruns for me are coolest when they're like 2D games, stuff like that, because they can pull off some. I mean, not to say that 3D games aren't cool too, but just the speed. Smack in there. Not very nice. Gonna fly. You know, watching Metroid Dread is one that I love watching speedruns on. I haven't for a while now, but man, the tricks they can pull off there, it's crazy. And I remember watching speedruns of that when the game came out because I enjoyed it, I played it. And then watching them just wreck the game, and then as they got better and better, the tricks that they were struggling with in the beginning then became trivial and just part of the strategy as they practiced them. And yeah. Hidden Jungle. And one more. My angry uncle. One more orb. So I do enjoy speedruns, but you're right, when it gets too glitchy, there was one I watched on Super Metroid, which of course is a game that's been speedrun to death at this point. They have all the tricks down, and it's super fast. The ones that are actually technically fastest involve like going to a spot and manipulating the memory in the game, and just standing there and breakdancing for a bit, and then all of a sudden, you know, get to the end screen, and that was like, sure, technically fastest, but not exactly exciting to look at, so... I don't know what the green orbs do. They probably explained it at some point and I didn't listen. Oh well. Yeah, that's right. The most recent one, I think, right, was just like it's near pixel perfect. Like they're about as close as a pass or tool assisted speedrun. Like they can't get any faster. Like it's pure luck at that point now to get even better, but it's down to like sub-pixel perfect. But that's not one that's going to get upended anytime soon. And they're talking about fractions, like of a millisecond for improvement, you know. But that's a game that, of course, has been very... Everyone's played it. Speedrunners, so... Well, interesting. TIL. Star Trek Edition. I have heard those things? No. I see why this game gets so much,
Do me a favor and keep away from those dark eco boxes.
They don't want to. Really cool environments, and but at the end of the day, it's still a at the end of the day, it's still like a collectathon game, right? So, well, that doesn't seem safe. I think you can knock things down pretty easy. Yeah, you're right. The fact that the green orbs aren't auto-collecting is a little frustrating. They should. Because I play other like 3D platformers like this from the era. There's a lot of them, right? Like some of them are, you know, supposed to be pretty decent, but they just don't play that good. At least I was playing the Sphinx Curse of the Mummy or something. Picked it up on Xbox. And it was alright, but it didn't feel as polished like this. It felt much more clunky, slower paced, I don't know. Didn't have the it factor. like I'm supposed to be able to bounce on this. Hurry, brother. Figure it out. Oh, well. I'm like crippling FOMO because I missed whatever was up there. And to check out the bottom here too. There's like 2 tiers basically. This is a big game, yeah. I can see why it would take a long time to max it out. There's just this much stuff. Oh. Ow. I knew I wasn't gonna make that. Oh well. I want to turn the camera more freely. It's really lock it to the ground. I think it's to protect it from getting stuck in the geometry, which is great on one hand, but it makes it really stiff to control.
Hey, there's little lightning marks on those posts, and there's lightning coming out of that vent over there.
Yeah, I see some health
Thinking
first.
what I'm thinking?
Oh my goodness. See, it's a Metroidvania. Hopefully it's not time limited. I think it was, but made it.
We
Like, we
need
made
to
it.
get to the top of that tower.
Ah! Yeah, they are pretty creative with their movement techniques and stuff here. Or at least, I should say, the environment. The movement technique is pretty straight up, yeah. That's fine. When you think about that, sometimes you look at, like, the games like, you know, Metroid, like, how did the Kyoko or the Chozo, like, why did they design that? Like, oh, so you go through here and you turn yourself into a small ball, and then you're like, what? Health, please. There we go. Still confused on the green collectibles there. Your power! Whoa. Oh, come on. I was keep thinking that when you have the lightning, you're like invulnerable.
Then me.
You really gonna toss me all the way back to the beginning now? Brutal. Not cool. I mean, it puts you right back in, I guess, but it's the fact that you have to start over this whole area is a little gnarly. Grab the ledge. Hello, camera. That's where you have the problem where the camera feels like it's too flat. I want it to angle down more, but it's not designed for that, so you end up with, like, camera collisions. Where is that? Not today. Yeah, that's true. Especially in a game like this, when it kicks you back that far. At least the story major thing seemed like you don't... I missed these the first time, so... Man, the double jump is really weird. Like, it triggers... Sometimes you can use it, sometimes you can't. I think it's depending on where you are in the arc of your jump. I always have to press harder. Yep, there it did the trigger. So I pressed the same thing. But it's kind of like the repeat parts of these games. Feels like it was core mechanic. Yeah, can't jump too early, I guess. Gotta find our way back to that tower without getting eaten up piranhas. Back at a tower. Is it this here? I don't think I saw this. I'm not sure what the green orbs do, actually, because I think they just help to refill your health gauge, right? But this seems fine. There's a lot to explore.
Let's get up on that machine and break the mirror diverting the precursor beam.
Lot to explore. And no loading screens either. That's something that, you know, couldn't take for granted at the time. A lot of games, you know, they didn't use the DVD drive that well, or loading into memory or things like that. Of course, playing on a hard drive, but it shouldn't, you know, it's the same thing with loading screens, right? That doesn't change. If there's a loading screen in the game, it will still be there. Well, that was convenient.
Those tower doohickeys scattered all over the jungle must redirect the eco beam. Let's go fiddle with them.
What?
Line up the beam by pointing it at the next tower.
Huh. I gotta go find the next tower now?
Hey, we can follow the beam to find the next tower.
Oh, it's pretty elaborate, actually. Surprising. It. Fish. Leave me alone. Wow, quite elaborate.
Let's go to the next tower and reconnect the beam there.
Can do, little guy. I mean, I could see being really stuck into this kind of game. It plays really well. Maybe it overstays the welcome eventually when you're just doing the same thing over and over, but at the same time, it's just super polished. Where did it go? What's this way? Well, I can follow it by following the beam, but I gotta see where it is, too. I need to be able to do the, like almost an overhead view or something. Too much jungle in the way. Those fish are just waiting to bite me. Oh, fish, that's a bad fishy. I don't think so. Nope, there's no map to my knowledge. You can punch. You can crouch. You can roll. I guess I should have tried out some more buttons. Surprising amount of advanced movesets then, but yeah, no map, so. I'll fall down here, aren't I? They didn't have a bridge if this is. That's the thing. Beam go. There it is, right? Was that the first one? No. That has to be the one there, right? Yeah. Let's see, we're gonna go this way. I like that the puzzles are kind of like in the world, if you will, not just like you're entering a puzzle zone. You know, many games do that where they have such a kind of cut-off piece for the puzzle components. Looks to be just kind of like, okay, here's a puzzle in the midst of this explorable world. And the fact that it's seamless, I mean, that's really impressive, I'd say, for the PS2. Maybe just, I'm not gonna say that, you know, developers are bad or lazy or anything, but it's like it just felt like it was a thing that they just didn't care too much or worry too much about. You had a lot of memory loading and unloading that wasn't done in a live fashion, right? It was having to be done in a loading screen. That does take you out a lot of it, especially on a DVD era then when it took so long time to load from disk. That was not fast. So it's just very impressive it does this all the way up there. And there's a lot of run around here now. And yes, the game gets darker because I think that turns into night, actually. It has a bit of a day-night cycle. I don't think it has any impact on the game itself, but it's cool. There it is. Oh, some severe slowdown here. Camera clipping into the environment, I think. No? How many of these are there? The last one. That's a long way down. Thanks. I wish I could move the camera more freely. That's the thing that probably makes it more like time period. Because you're used to, at least I am, to be able to move the camera around very freely. They've gotten really good at that, and that's something that I think a lot of developers struggle with in the beginning to figure that out. How to move the camera, and in some cases, you know, you could move it pretty freely, but then it's broken and terrible, and that's gotten pretty far, so. This is a fat PS2, so well, I shouldn't say standard. The fat PS2 with a PAL version that I have changed over to be a NTSC, or it sets it through boot. And then I have FreeMac boot on there, and then a hard drive with the hard drive adapter. So it's a 721 RPM SATA hard drive in there. Get epilepsy. We're done now? I think so. Laser beam. Oh, wow.
We should go tell that windbag of a mayor that he owes us big time for connecting the village energy beam.
Really? Yeah, that's true. Mario 64 really hit it out of the park right away, right? It was a game that had... I want to get up on the tower now. Had... I wouldn't say impeccable, but like really good. Can I save? I think save. Or did I save in case it crashes? I'm not sure if it auto saves or not, but we haven't saved otherwise for a long time. So I set a 9%, so we're pretty. Yeah. Yeah, FreeMac boot has just made it kind of trivial because you just plop that memory card in, and now you're you know, hacked, if you will, or can run custom firmware, custom software. You don't need really anything else except that FreeMac boot memory card, and that's what feels like it's, you know, cracked, no pun intended, the platform wide open for modding and everything. You just plop that in, and you're good. I know that's not perfect, and there's some benefits to running real mod chips too, I'm sure, but at the same time, I can just take that out and the system's back to stock. Yeah, that's a question too, is like, the hard drive is a good one, I know, but it's also spinning disk, right? Eventually, it will fail, even if it's a good spinning disk. They're on borrowed time. Not saying every SSD is going to survive forever either, but spinning disk, of course, is extra sensitive to that, so... Dodge, roll, punch. Yeah. Back. Go. Make it up to that tower now. So each area has its own little collection of things to do, right? Is the whole premise here. platforming is always the hardest part in these 3D games, and if it's not done correctly, it can be really challenging. Some lagging going on there now. That's right, this is where I died, so we're all the way further now. Where do I jump? I can't even see. Up here. This is a long way to fall now. Yep, like that. That's, again, like I said, platforming iffy. I think I activated the things. 3D platforming can be really tricky, and I'm terrible at looking at a shadow or supposed to, like, where you're supposed to be, but it just, you kind of got to wing it a little bit. I have earned this power thingamajigger. Please and thank you very much. Ah. Okay, it saves every time, so... No, I don't think so either, because it's, you know, both systems are just so useful, especially the Xbox. When you mod that, there's so much you can do with it. Return to the mayor, task completed. Find the blue vent switch. 3-7 scout fly. Or collect... Oh. Well, that's convenient. Okay. What's below here? Not a fan of the sound here. Just keeps finding new areas. Oh! I'm cool. I'm cool. Did not fall to my untimely demise. Ah! You overcorrect when you realize you're about to fall. Is that a power cell down there? That'll be worth my time down here. Some of these are like quick to get and some are just brutal. Can I have that? It's gonna turn off the tower now or something. Mine! Yep. Okay, so it turns on these things.
Wow, did you see that? Blue eco-vents have been activated all over the world. I knew there was a way to turn them on. There must be places to turn on the other eco-vents as well.
Wait, it's just... Whee! So many collectibles and things. Oh my goodness. The boss here now? Oh, I'm gonna die. I have anything I can use on that guy yet? Yeah, I just gotta jump up and punch him. So, like in most things, you can solve everything with some punching. Alright. Continue punching until problem is resolved. Come on. Can't get a beat on when those guys are, Come on, that was 3 hits. There we go. It's a universal video game rules. 3 hits, you're done. Whoa! That's where that was. My goodness, there's so much to explore. I'll come back to this region later. I activated all the vents now, so One down there. Oh, that's the one I got earlier, so... Something down here? I don't think so. And these areas are pretty dense with things to explore. Wonder what a speed run of this game would look like. Oh no. Shouldn't attack those.
Hey, Jack! Can I have your insect collection?
Maybe time to go back to town. Down here. I think I would have went down here. And head another area. And come back to this area later when we've explored some other things now. Although I'm a completionist and have a hard time leaving areas. That's something where, as we're playing Final Fantasy XIV now, there's so many quests in that game now that when you play it, you're basically going to outlevel the main quest. And it makes it very difficult to pass on or over some of the story quests, or not story quests, but some of the quests so that you have, it's just no point in doing all of them.
Hey, my yak cows are still on the loose. Could you bring them back for me already?
Oh, okay. Good. Back to your home. One. I didn't catch that the first time. It's true, I never had a SSD actually fail, but I think, like everything else, it's probably the control stuff that fails and not the actual device or memory chip, right? So, I know they have a finite read and write span, but I have a feeling that you're probably getting rid of it before it runs out anyway. At least, I mean, I know that there's enterprise-grade SSDs and stuff like that, right, that are very different. They're designed for extreme operations, but the cheap ones that you buy for home, I mean, I don't know if any normal consumer use would ever make those run out, if you will. I know it was a big deal in the beginning when SSDs came around that they would, like, run out. Flash drive, something else, yeah. Cheapo flash drives, you know, USB sticks. I have had those die many times. Or just get corrupted. You plug them in and it's just like the problem with them or whatever. Are there more of them? There's one there too. Okay, well I can see the first gen, I mean that's... Those were the early cheap ones, right? Or not cheap ones. They weren't cheap, but they, you know, were the early ones. Back to your home. No. There you go to your home. Don't close the gate, though. Oh my. That's a little heavy use, yeah, for like a home consumer.
Oh, well done, my boy. You actually got those flea bags back into the pen. Now I can sleep in peace. Take this power cell for your trouble.
We need these power cells. You're like, you have to do an errand for me first. Really? I just love how expressive the characters are. That's something I wasn't expecting, really. Up there. Thank you. Orbs. Alright, probably... What? What was that? Turn in stuff. Bruce, welcome back. Yeah, and that's, who was it? It was Macho Nacho, I think, that did that. He's one of the, you know, kind of what I consider premier console modders, right? He's very thorough and everything. But he did that on a PS2 Slim, which, you know, yeah, it made it much more usable, but it was a very involved mod. It was not just like a solder 2 points and done. It was extremely involved. So I probably consider it a very difficult modification. You're probably better off using the memory card with the SD card in it at that point. I don't know how fast that is, but I think that the The memory card slot is probably faster than the USB, which is 1.1.
Oh, what a wonderful sight!
Yep,
I
get
thank
your
you.
power back.
And the entire village will thank me. Boys, you have restored power to the village and guaranteed my re-election. And for that, by the way,
Yeah.
earned a power cell.
Only whole time in your hat? Taking it. I don't know how many power cells I need, but I'm getting a lot of them now. I can go to my uncle with the... What complaining earlier. Here. Get your 90 power orbs. Power cells. No, the orbs.
Good, jolly good. Hey, you
Jolly
have
good.
the precursor orbs that we agreed on? I hope you
That
put
we agreed on, you just
hard-earned
asked for it.
Power cell to good use. Cheerio, ta-ta, bye-bye.
I'm not sure if they just had really good animators, so they spent that much time, like, perfecting the movement and stuff. Okay, what do we have left to do? Scout flies, and I still haven't found the rest, so... Talk to everyone up there again and see, otherwise this is going on to the other places, but... This is a dangerous game for completionists to be able to do everything. But it's, I will say, the fact that they added in a day and night cycle, the game runs at 60 FPS, smooth and everything. It's a pretty impressive game.
I've definitely figured out how to use the transpads. Now go to Misty Island and I'll send the zoomer over to you.
Go to Misty Island next, I guess. We'll talk to the boat, but it also does look a lot more appealing during the day here now, too. It's a pretty environment and everything, so why not let the light be on all the time? But we'll have a day-night cycle. Yeah, there's more secrets to discover in town here. More of those flies. Got the one back here already. Here, nope. The Misty Island. We'll have to go back to areas to discover more and stuff, but... Also, I just thought of it. Not much popping. That's something that's not... You know, kind of what you expect in games like that. I saw the fish just pop in there as I walked closer to them, but games like this back then were pretty bad in their
Maybe
culling.
we should go root out the fisherman. I heard he was in the jungle fishing by the lower river.
Oh. Go find him, he's in the jungle. Where I was. We'll run back there, that's fine. Fine. Oh, wow. That's a commitment, yeah. My son loved that game, and he got a lot. He kept showing me all the stuff he had unlocked. And it's one of those that's on my list to play, because it looks like it's a lot of fun. But I never got back to it, mostly because the Switches all got spoken for now. There's not one available for me. Maybe when the Switch 2 comes out, I can play it on the Switch again. I didn't even finish Prime Remastered, even though my son did. He just picked it up out of the blue, started playing it. To be young again with...
Wow! Check out that funky sculpture sitting on the rocks over there.
Love a jumping, dude. Yeah, it looks like a fun, but I love the design of it and the implications that this is a post-apocalyptic Nintendo game. Is there a way to make that jump? Double jump is so unpredictable. Every way to make that, right? It's just something I have to come back for later. It's funny when you're playing games like this, when you start it up, like when I booted this game up and I was messing with it, it looked so pixelated and like chunky and stuff, but then you get used to it, and then it just looks great. And I can imagine the... maybe I give up on that one. The HD remaster probably looks really good. Just even at 720p, there's probably a big upgrade. No, they don't, and it's probably best they leave it that way because the implications are pretty horrifying, I suppose. It's about a lower river in the jungle. Probably not here. Again, no loading zones between areas. a very impressive game, but yeah. Yeah, they had a lot of those cool games that the Epic Yarn, and they had the Yoshi's Crafted World and stuff like that, I know did. But I love it when they do an art style like that. Maybe it's not for everyone, but the style can be just amazing. Back in the jungle. Fishing by the low river, so let's go down to the low river. Whoa! That was not planned there. So.
What do you have in the basket?
Nothing to talk about.
Them monsters patrolling the ocean took a bite out of
Uh-oh.
the fishing rig. And now they're gobbling up me catch.
No matter what I try, I can't seem to catch a single fish in this river.
Woo!
Someone's expression of the
It's
characters.
your breath.
You think you can do better? Try scooping up river fish with a tiny net. I'll give you a power set. If you can catch 200 pounds of them critters, and then I'll let you with shrimp here use
200
my
pounds of
speedboat
fish?
to get to Misty
No
Island.
pressure, so we gotta do that to get the boat
Try
unlocked.
the challenge.
It is a little Metroidvania, although you're not.
There
Yes.
are two types of good fish to catch. 1 pound fishies and 5 pound fishies. Huh? If you miss 20 pounds of good fish, then I'm gonna take me net back from you. There are poisonous eels in this river. Catch even a one of them boogers, and you'll poison the whole darn catch.
Wow, no pressure.
Here comes a big one.
Missed.
Man. I want to focus. It's a bit of a mini game here.
Steady, boy.
Oh, I don't know what to push. I was pushing the button.
Here comes a big one.
I don't know what the big deal is there, dude. You could have fished pretty easily here.
Steady, boy.
Left.
Your sails are set.
Yeah. I saw it coming there. Alright, second try.
Here comes a big one.
Don't want to miss the yellow ones, because then you're really in trouble. You can miss 20 pounds total.
Here comes a big one.
Missed.
Dang it. Dang it. Well, the controls are the problem here. It's a little inaccurate. I can make excuses for it, then it feels better.
Steady, boy.
Missed.
Uh-huh, you do better then. How many poisonous fish are there here? It's a bad area for fishing.
Here comes a big one. Hold steady.
Oh, dang it.
Almost there. Your sails are set. You did it.
Oh, whew.
You caught 200 pounds of fish.
Ooh, touche.
And we're a couple of landlubbers. Here's the power cell I promised.
Yeah, this is very non-Ratchet & Clank. I'm just shocked at how, like, open it is. I see the appeal. I mean, if this is the game you had, I see the appeal. If this is the game you had on your console, you probably had a good time. Yeah, I'm not doing hard mode. No thanks. Laughing at this creep. Is anything in the... Nope. Lame. But it's just the... I keep saying, with the quality and the smoothness of the game and everything, it's very impressive. We've only seen like one slowdown. in here. Going along the river now. Lower tier here. Okay. Oh, look at that. A power cell just by the boat there? Well, that seems a little too easy. It's an exploration reward one. Oh, alright, just the power cell. Fair enough. I don't think I can teleport back, but that in distance. Left in this area. Task complete, task complete, task complete. Scout flies in an unknown task still. That's 17% of the game so far. But yeah, it's a big one. For being, you know, an action platformer like this. Did that one. Oh. How many of those orbs do you have to collect to get another heartbeat? Like it's quite a bit. Down now. Can't gauge the distance. There we go. You have to activate it or something, I'm not sure. But still, I mean, it's if you got this game for your console and if you got a PS2 and it's the only game you had, you probably had a really good time. You know, there's sometimes when you think about certain games you might have gotten as your first game or the only game you could afford at the time or something, and you kind of like had a bad experience. But no, this would have been a great game to experience and have. I see why it's so beloved and why I got so many sequels. I also see why it's pretty desirable in the retro market, unfortunately. It's one of those games I would love to actually physically own, but they run out the price. Not crazy, I think, but it's still popular.
Hey, let's go check out old Fish Brett's speedboat at the dock.
I'm there. Go to Misty Island. Rescue Tom's the train. I guess I got a heal though, but I guess I got a heal in the transition here. Yeah, it's... I keep saying the same thing over and over, but the fact that you can walk around this world without any loading screens is darn impressive. That tells you something about the how they stream the data in and everything, or just that they load the whole world. I saw there was a mod for like Starfield. That's the thing that kind of breaks the immersion a lot, is the loading screens, right? And that's just the way that, you know, Creation Engine is. They can't load all of that into at the same time. But someone put a mod in that takes the indoor areas in some of the bigger cities and make them part of the outdoor geography, if you will. So you don't have to do a load to see it. Now, the question is, does that mean the game's unstable? I don't know if it has memory problems. But apparently it adds a lot of immersion, because you're then just opening doors, like in Cyberpunk, for example.
When you're covered in fuzz.
And yeah, the Starfield... I mean, I know it was just a memory limitation, and that's how they had to do. Not a very nice place to be. It is what it is, but it also breaks the immersion quite a bit. If I play it again, I kind of parked it for now, I guess. Play it again, there's a mod also that takes the... when you do a grav drive jump, normally it, you know, spins up the grav drive, spools the engine, and then you kind of go into an animation, and it's a huge, like, swelling orchestral hit and loading screen. What this does, I think the mod extends that animation when you're going into hyperdrive mode, if you will, and then as you exit hyperdrive, that's your loading screen. And that adds immersion too, because you're not looking at a loading screen with a tooltip on there, right? And I think it's still a good game, as it were, but I think they could have...
Jump, then dive onto the teeter-totter.
There we go. But I think that some of that stuff is a little bit limiting what it does, so... But I'd like to play it again with some of those selected mods, I think. Things are... making it scary. I do feel I should have a... Ow, that was it. I feel like I should have a ranged weapon or something.
While you're down there, could you rub my feet?
I'm gonna grab another soda real quick. Listen or watch for... Watch his idle animation. That's weird switching from Dew to Pepsi there, but I'm caffeine free now for the late evenings. You might get old. I don't know how many old you guys are, but well, some of you are about my age. But yeah, caffeine can be a problem. So yeah, you can. Just safer to use the spin maneuver than the dive one. The dive one is a little risky. I've gotten hit a lot with that one.
Sculptor's muse.
Hey. Go. A little map here would be really useful. Maybe there is a map, I'm just not aware of it. Think a little bit, I don't know why, but just about the original Crackdown when we were doing all the maneuvering and stuff. That was a great game. I had so much fun with that. Oh. You have to actually catch him. Dude, this is very annoying. This is a great way to tour the island here, I guess. Go. Ooh, ow. Ugh. So hard with the camera to figure out where people are going. Oh well, we'll find them again at some point, I suppose. Oh, we got some electricity going.
Below us, because I don't think we'll make it back.
Oh, okay. He said don't go in that water, and I'm like, sure can do. Let's go in the water. Probably candy down there or something. Have to actually catch it, and that's really annoying. That's where I want to be able to angle the camera down so I can see what the heck is going on.
Knock over those bones.
The double jump is... Yeah, I gotta look up what the deal with double jump is, because it's really inconsistent. I've tried, like, you know, hard pressing, pressing at the height of the jump, pressing lower down. It just seems like there's no rhyme or reason. Because, like, you're not supposed to be able to catch him in the straight race. It would be nice if those green orbs were auto-collecting. Oh, really? Supposed to intercept him, maybe? Or lure him somewhere? Yeah, because he's just running away the same pattern, I think. I felt like there was a point there where I was actually catching him, but then he just kind of ran away. Not at all annoying. That's fine. We'll look around for other stuff to do. I didn't want that power cell anyway. Who needs it? Power! Dang it, it's one of those again. Don't see him until it's too late. Or if you have to have the, I guess you can have the blue orb energy, then you run a lot faster, so. What?
Red Eco makes your attack stronger.
Oh. So the, tip. Whoa! Oh, come on. Come on. That was just cheap. Never would have known that. You can see the islands that you can go to and everything. All from the same area. Or from the same area. It's the same, like... It's not quite the same world, if you will, but... Okay. Explore this island a little bit. Might be a little shorter stream tonight, I think, so... super energetic tonight, I think, but... I'll play it for a little longer. And I'll do more variety stream, stuff like that, or do more retro things in general, but, nice, relaxing platformer where I die a lot. But I'm coming away really impressed, and maybe I will continue playing this game of my own too, even if we don't stream it more, because I kind of want to continue, but I could see also how it becomes a collectathon slog after a while. Ooh, and yeah, it is, isn't it? 2001? You know, it's always a topic of what's retro, and I think that generally it seems like the yardstick is about 20 years, but if you grew up with it, right, that's retro for you, because think back to, like, when my wife and I met, we were like, you know, we thought the NES was super retro, and it wasn't that old at the time, or Super Nintendo was, like, retro. We were collecting for it in the early 2000s, but at that point, it was just, you know, a little bit over 10 years old, so it wasn't, like, super crazy old compared to what you would consider, retro now then. I think also you'd look at the type of graphics or the type of game, right? Because you went from pixel art to this kind of stuff. There was a pretty big shift there in graphical quality and what you got out of the game, so... the ledge grabbing is really something. Being cooked by that more than once here now. Let's explore other parts of the island that doesn't have that water. I mean, like, it's nice that it just tosses you right back, but still. But yeah, I mean, the PlayStation 1 then was in 2000 in Japan, right? And then 2001 in North America and stuff, so I think it would be considered retro by most definitions, really. Although it did have a long life, and it's still, I think to some markets like Brazil and stuff, it was sold for a long time past what we could consider the prime. I mean, it was a great console, and it had so many games on it. The library on the PS2 is ginormous. Thousands of titles, because it was so popular in Japan, too. There's a series of really cool YouTube videos, like Digital Video Game Library, something like that. Someone collected basically all the games and put a recording clip with a name on them and everything, and it's a very impressive video. And did that for a lot of consoles. And, you know, you watch the GameCube one, and it's like a couple hundred, and watch the Saturn one, it's a couple hundred, and the PS1 is like tons of them, and then you get the PS2, and it's like thousands of them. Crazy how many titles there were on PS2. Then again, I think the Switch will put them all to shame at this point, because the Switch has that, you know, library around mobile games going for it too, since so many of the mobile games were ported to the Switch. So there's so many digital games on the Switch, it's ludicrous. Even though there's been a lot of physical releases as well, Switch library is massive. That Froggy. He has a weapon. Run down there and check that out. What is on this down? Catch the sculptor's muse. Stop the cannon. Find a trans pad. Out. Punch it face. Super effective. And I will say, for a while there, I was, maybe I still am, but I was like just a little bit obsessed with collecting all these random mascot platformer games, because there's so many of them from this era. Not saying this is a mascot platformer, just wouldn't say it is. Oh my.
Let's plow into those balloon lurkers and shred them.
Oh wow. Huh. Oh, vehicle section too? Hey, come back. That's a cool segment though. Not expecting this. Power cell right there too. Jump to that. Definitely struggling with me here with this fast moving stuff though, but I hear you. On land.
I said,
Ow.
shred the lurkers, Jack. Not the mines! Rule number 1, always avoid the mines!
I'm trying. Kinda difficult. I think it's really hard to get your health back. Is there a way to trade the health right? 340 out of 2,000. 5 out of 112. Oh my goodness. Big collectathon. Last one. Not sure that was the last one. There we go. Nailed it. Go. Power cell. Okay.
Good! You stopped
Oh, okay.
all the mine-dropping lurkers. They've been threatening the waters around our village for weeks. Bring your zoomer back to the transpad and I'll teleport it back.
Why? Oh, okay. That was the whole segment here. Anything more? You can jump up there. Nice. You're getting some solid internet then. It's funny because too, ever since I got the gigabit here now, I mean, as you have seen and watched, No problems with the stream so far. Of course, I say that and jinx it now, but it's been perfectly fine. Oh, nice, a boat. I'm just really impressed by the environment in this game. It's cool, it's varied. And again, no loading at all. Most impressive. Yeah, it's nice not to worry about it. I was still worried it was something with configuration, but the fact that after getting new internet, it's been, you know, rock solid, and I haven't had any upload problems at all, that tells you a little bit. And also, you know, it was oversubscribed cable, and now you're basically with fiber, and I get that, you know, my own speed, if you will. You're sharing of it within reason. Wish you got health from picking those things up. That'll be really helpful. Healthful. I will not survive this encounter. Nope, I will not. I didn't realize one was jumping. Hey, I called it. Well, nice to drop you here at least. I should probably remember that I have the roll too. Oh, you can uppercuts. Huh. Experiment some more, apparently. Of course, I do it just to style off and then take a hit, so. Definitely when I've been uploading stuff too, and you know, we don't need to tax, we can't tax the internet nearly as much as we used to, especially with the kids doing a whole bunch of stuff. You know, you get one machine getting an update at the same time, something else, and all of a sudden, even though we had technically a lot of download speed, it just wasn't manifesting in a way that you'd expect. But that was, you know, over subscription. And getting someone out here to troubleshoot it was just like, no thank you. My bill is much lower. Come on! Game's definitely getting harder. Yep. Definitely hard. I need to make it there with the enough health to actually do the thing. Ah. They're putting those things there so you can't just spin attack. It does have a little bit of a Crash Bandicoot attack style there, but Naughty Dog was Crash Bandicoot as well, right? I'm remembering that wrong. So I can get up there now with full health at least to give me an actual chance. Can't gauge those very well. Really? Put a poison one right next to it. Well, you gotta make it pretty far. Fall down now. Yeah, I'm terrible timing those things. Oh, I made it. Oh. I think, anyway. Break this thing. Hit it. This is just... The environments here are just huge. Punch to the face. Punch it. Oh, I just gave you one. Alright, well, nice. At least I made it up here, so that's the reward enough. And isn't it about the journey more than the destination? In this case, it was not about the journey.
I'm impressed. You two didn't screw up. Now that the lurkers can't open that silo, they can't flood the world with dark eco and cause untold destruction. Wipe that ridiculous grin off your face, Daxter. The two of you have plenty to do. Get on with it.
You're welcome. All right, can we blow something up here?
Get some! Get some!
I'm gonna have to blow this up, maybe. Oh. Cool. Doesn't do anything. Feels like a big arena down there, though. Now what?
It's an ambush, Jack! It's an ambush!
Well, the cannon would be really helpful now. Let's try this. I'm terrible with the combat here. Ow, I'm out. Depends on where they drop you now.
Stretcher? Yuck. Breath mint?
Yeah, I have to get all the way up there again. Now, the combat is just not agreeing with me really a lot. I'm assuming it's going to be on the... on there. Well, insulting if that doesn't give you a thingamajig. A orb. No shortcut? No. Gives you full health in between, so that's nice. Or does it gives you a health back? Breather. Ow. Oh, it's a big one. That's what health is. Jump down here. Oh, there's stuff down there. Weird. I wonder where that is, because I feel like the fall down there is not going to be good, but there's got to be something there. Nope. Oh. There's a murder fish was there. Somewhere I can use the thing, maybe go there. Back here. Yeah. Disembark this thing? No. Yes. Oh, there was a ramp there in the front of the ship. I didn't see that. Check that out. Nice little random vehicle segment, so... I'm really curious if the other games keep up this style, or if they change it a lot. I seem to remember the marketing for the later Jak games, especially the third one, and he looks like super angry, he's got a gun and stuff, and it felt like it... I'm not sure I'd get the, you know, Pixar/Disney vibe from it, so... Anyone played any of the later ones at all? I haven't played them all, so... And there we go, there's a ramp here. I will take this. I haven't been up to this beach here. Check this out. It's weird because a modern game like this now, you'd have some unlockable combat skills or like some extra stuff that you kill tree, or not many games anymore where you have all the movesets right away and stuff like that. Like it's kind of a trope now, I guess, but the blue power. Thank you, fish. It might be that's where that place was going. That maybe? Not exactly. Why is there so many collectibles? Yeah, there's a thing there. I get that? On the back side there. Maybe that's the one. That's probably the one you get from defeating the arena. That was a big combat challenge. I gotta avoid taking so much damage if I'm gonna do that one. Super juice. It's so hard to know what damages you're doing, so. Environments are huge. So much to see, so much to do.
Watch your back!
Oh.
We remember what happened the last time we were here.
Yeah, I sure did. Can I go up and use the cannon? That'd be cool. I have like 1 health left right now.
This place gives me the willies. Let's keep you out of the ooze, okay?
Yep. Health will be good. It's just like when you're plunging ahead or like attacking, I don't know what hurts me or not. Like touching them.
I gotta get changed back now.
He's punching and... Okay, so at least it dropped me here by the combat challenge, so that's good. I can actually have a fair chance then. Can I get up by the cannon now? Be useful. That stuff there. Can't tell what's damaging me. Oh, made it. First try. Sweet. Oh, okay, so you can actually do a long jump. That's good to know. Man, they really didn't explain the movement set very well. That would have been really useful for some of those jumps. I think I can use that in at least a couple of places to get further in the village. EIL. This looks ominous. Some portals here. There's goo down here. Good or bad? Whee! Apparently bad. So how do I get back to the... let's see. There was something to do here too, right? Yeah, that could make you basically long jump. Huh. Really have to run that all the way here to get this fish first. If I out of the way. Hup, hup, hup. Come on, camera, cooperate. Not nearly enough. Gotta make that perfect. Oh, thanks.
Ouch.
See? Like, ouch.
Step one.
The, hitbox actually for you to take damage are really confusing. Now, you don't lose that much time, but that, like, is it just touching them, or I'm not sure. Who knows? Now how do I get back? Because I've done what I want here now. Run all the way back, I guess. Wanted to run up there again. Well, no, never mind. That's the one I picked up. So. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That is Sukra, welcome. Late evening for you. Playing some Jak and Daxter on the PS2, because why not? I was talking about earlier, but I had a heck of a time capturing this because it's interlaced by default, and that was a pain in the butt to capture. I don't have a good de-interlacer. I'm still getting used to the moveset here now. I tried a whole bunch of different things. I have a, homemade GBS control that was not working so well. I tried another, like, professional scaler I have, was also not working so well. So I ended up actually using software, which, since this machine is modded, to force the resolution on the entire system to 480p, and that made it a lot easier to capture it. So, no more interlacing artifacts or anything like that. Back here. I knew what happened there. The camera is not conducive for this fast movement, so I'm just going to park that one there for now, or at least ignore that one. A home. I really want to go to that place now with the statue, because now I bet I can make that jump. Riverboat time. Yeah, Sukra, I have this Crestron HD scaler I got from work. It's it's like, you know, analog to HDMI scaler or 1080p. It's made for presentation stuff and like, you know, projector. So, but it does take almost everything. I haven't tested with like, you know, Windows resolutions, DOS and stuff, but it does take S-Video, composite component, all this stuff, because it's made to be plug and play for a corporate environment. So the upscaling isn't great, and I found that it was all right on the interlacing side, but much prefer doing 480p here, which looks much cleaner.
You collected enough power cells to fuel my heat shield. Meet me by
I think it is, yeah. They re-released the...
climbing the cliff behind the farmer's house. Bring the power cells, and hurry! My father says he's seen more lurkers around.
Oh, no. The collection is on Vita as well, yeah. I think it would... Do you have that one? I remember you talked about that one, but yeah. I've never played any of these games, so it's been really fun experiencing it, because this is a very, very impressive game for being this early. Excuse me. For being so early in the life cycle of the PlayStation 2. That's just a very impressive effort from Naughty Dog. But then again, I don't think Naughty Dog has really ever made bad games, so... Yeah, that jump makes it a lot easier, and if it would explain that sort of maneuver... Yeah, alright. But yeah, so the trick being that with free McBoot on any PS2, and that's good for us for capture purposes, is that we're using software you can force 480p, and that makes it a lot easier to capture.
Precursor oracle like the sage always goes on.
Who awakens the oracle? Wait, one of you has the light within. From before time, I have watched and waited for the true hero to return. Present to me 120 precursor orbs for each power cell I contain.
Oh.
For your gift, another power cell is yours.
Sweet. Okay. I got 21 now, but more than I need, I guess. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's, that's what I have here too. I don't know you were here and saw it, but the fat PS2 then with the hard drive in it and in the free McBoot. And the free McBoot is just such an easy way to get soft modded PS2 anymore. Pop it in and off you go. No more to it. Alright, so we had the... up here. And it makes it pretty trivial, but then I can show you where the settings are for that once you do get all that set up, especially for capturing, like here. Being able to do 480p is a big boost, and a lot of games actually look even better. This one was not designed for 480p, so it actually looks alright, but I tried a few other games that are more designed for it, and they look super crisp and nice, so for what it is. Now,
Great!
Fly this over the
20 cells needed to power my heat shield. Now be careful. The shield will only protect your zoomer till it reaches 500 degrees, so try to keep her cool. Flying over open lava will definitely heat you up fast. Hit 500 degrees and it's over.
Over? Like burning molten metal over?
The fire canyon gets pretty hot, so keep a lookout for jumps to keep you off the hot ground. I've also released several blue cooling balloons you can use to drop the shield's temperature quickly. Oh, and when you get across, don't forget to activate the teleport gate in the Blue Sage's lab. Then we'll be able to teleport over and meet you. Good luck.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a nice one to do, and eventually it's really convenient to have it. All right. Hot, 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 hot.
Those balloons to cool off. There's scout flies out here too. See if we can catch air off those lurkers.
Missed one there. You were charged. Oh. Oh, come on. I missed one. Unforgiving game. Gonna drop me back to the beginning of that area, I guess. Yeah, there was a real loading there, but... missed that one. Not a good start. Really can't miss that many of them. Really, any of them. Oh, come on. I missed one. Jeez, this is gonna be difficult. Whew. Steers very poorly too, but this is a long vehicle segment. Oh, got some serious air on that guy.
Stuff to keep us cool.
Dang it, missed one. Dead. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I made that. Oh. Goodness. So for the setup here, I actually tried slow down Doppler. Who slows down? So I'm actually using direct just component out directly into my StarTech capture card, which has component support. I tried using the GBS control as well, and I have it here, but my hack job isn't working so well, so I'm gonna have to redo it. Probably just resolder all of it, probably. And then I tried using that Crestron scaler, but then eventually I ended up using the software to change it to 480p, and then I can capture directly with my... I could 480i as well. I have a StarTech that supports component, S-video, and composite and stuff. And it doesn't do a great job with stuff that's not good to begin with. Like 480p, it can do a good job, but like 480i, stuff like that. Yeah, that was my first capture card I bought because I knew it was very broadly used. It actually supports DOS resolutions too, but not in a great way. But that's the reason why I bought that. That's my standard 1080p capture device, is that StarTech. And it's really multi-useful that way, since it can capture consoles directly without any scaler in between. So I can use OBS for the scaling part, right? And that's what I'm doing here. So I don't need a scaler, but it's only so good versus a lot of the like, you know, professional good scalers like DirectRoTink and stuff like that. But I might... I know Andy on Discord talks about too. He's got the GBS control thing from AliExpress, and I might buy one too, because it might be handy to have. They're not that expensive. That's something to be yelled at often. Oh.
Beware of the dark light, for it has twisted the fate of one of you. Bring me 120 precursor orbs for each power cell I contain.
Orbs do I have? For now, mine no. Useful later. That jump is so useful to know now. Oh, you probably wanted to trade something.
You two look like a couple of capable fellows. I've got a research project going, and maybe you could help me out.
Hey,
British.
we're the ones on a big quest here. We asked you for help.
Well, perhaps we can help each other. I've been studying the burrowing habits of lightning moles in the Precursor basin next to our village for years.
Animation
Now
work is
those
just
awful
amazing. They
lurkers
did a
have
really
scared
good job
the
on
wolves to
that.
the surface.
Yeah, especially for the age
Because
too.
they're blind as bats, they can't find their way back underground.
But again, Naughty Dog has had
If you
a
could herd them back
really good
into
track
their
record. I
burrowing
mean,
tunnels,
they
you might just save
put
their
out banger after
lives.
banger for games.
I've got a power cell that says you can do it.
Yeah, lightning moles. We care. Maybe for 2 power cells.
Nice try. But I would be willing to part with another power cell if you two find me 90 precursor orbs for my research equipment. Fair enough?
I can do that now.
Oh, you have the orbs. Here's a power cell we agreed upon.
Well, duh. See, that's why I didn't spend 120 in the other place. This was cheaper. Collectible collectathon. I'm gonna break all your barrels. I don't remember what the task was here. Let's see. Oh, it's actually like listed as the thing. So just a boatload of those. Precursor basic.
This stone is very old.
Oh, of course, it's a hot stone. I got burned touching it, so that's fire indeed hot. They need orbs.
I thought that's one of your vital organs. Walk it off, tough guy.
Oh, sure, I was tough once. Maybe even the toughest of them all. I single-handedly defended this village from those horrid creatures for almost a year. Then that horrible monster arrived and commenced the boulder bombardment. So...
Oh, wow, he's just summoning boulders, huh?
Armor
That's cool.
shining in the sun, I climbed the hill to take him on. But he pounded me like one tenderizes a yakao steak.
Have you tried attacking him with your melodrama? Cause it's killing me.
After my last stunning failure, he sealed the passageway to his roost with a 30-ton boulder,
Oh,
leaving
that'll do
no
it.
way for anyone to challenge him again. So, our sage, a master of blue eco and a mechanical genius, devised a machine capable of lifting the boulder out of the way.
Okay.
But alas, he disappeared before we had a chance to turn it on. And he took all of his power cells with him. At least I was able to pull enough pontoons out of our bridge to prevent that monster from coming down here to do me harm.
Yeah, good job, tough guy. But we're gonna need you to put him back and stuff.
Oh, sure. And seal my doom? All right. Fine. Bring me 90 precursor orbs and I'll let the pontoons loose. But I'm not going to fight that monster again.
More of those. I gotta... Harder to find them. I guess you gotta keep going to other areas. Oops. You have a quest?
Oh, no.
Yep.
Not another hero. I lost my short on this so-called hero's big fight against the monster up there. Trust me, the smart money's on the monster.
Elaborate.
That wager pretty much tapped me out. So, I got a proposal. Bring me 90 orbs to get me back on my feet and out of this barrel, and I'll give you a...
My goodness, everyone's orbs.
And if you're game, I do have one more bet on mine. My big comeback. Beat the record time racing Dead Man's Gorge in the Precursor Basin, and I'll get a
just
pretty
racing
day
them
off.
too.
But
Everyone wants
I'll
90
give you
orbs, and
another
that
power
it's a little tough on the wallet there after a while, and everyone wants them. Yeah, I can't go here yet. I gotta collect more orbs. Oh. I jumped into the tire and yeah. Good going. GG. Good work. Guess I got to start right here. Down here. Oh. Stupid fish. Apparently I'm not supposed to go here until the platoons are back. I can get over here. Okay, the fish is... Go away, fish. No one likes you. Good lord. I made it over here. Fish is terrifying. Oh, I didn't see that, but it's probably a good call out. You just never know. I ain't sure if I'm supposed to be able to make it over here yet or not. Boggy swamp? That seems a little... Okay. Another area? It sure is. Oh my goodness. The big game. I know Johnny was saying earlier that it's like a 50-60 hour game to do full. Well, it's all exploding ones. Maybe don't need to go to a new area right away. And new mechanic of swiveling.
You can shoot fireballs when you're powered up with yellow eco.
Okay, that will be useful in many other places. What does make me want to play is the new Ratchet and Clank games again. I have it on PS4, never got that far honestly, and it plays on PS5 as well, but what gorgeous games. Can I get up here now without falling off? Not these things. Ow. Oh, that got me a mile away. I'm not sure I should be in this area right now, but here I am going deeper. Wouldn't hurt me here. Water, I guess? Okay. Fair enough. Let's maybe not go to the, I feel like this should have, like, hey, the pontoons need to be repaired before you can go this way. I'm like, hold my beer. Oh. Oh, come on! I wasn't even in the water when that fish came. At least put me back here. I mean, I meant to do that, obviously. Rock Village. Bring 90 orbs, big, yeah, so there's not really anything here, just a whole bunch of orbs for orb turning. But she had that quest too for something. I'm not sure what that was. I don't know. I just like, I want to play like something more laid back or something that doesn't, you know, a game that's not too complicated, you know, quote unquote, but it's a console game. It felt like it. And like, I looked at the PS2, like I haven't streamed that really at all. Like, eh, why not? And there you go. That's pretty much it. And here. And it was one of those, like, I wanted to play these games for quite a while because I knew they were good. People rave about them in general. But then never got to it and figured, like, why not? Feels like just a blind spot in the era for me. Why is there... Nothing with that. A racing area or something. We'll play other PS2 games some other time too, but I don't know why this particular one just...
Poor little moles.
I had tried it a little bit at one point. Not get very far, but really enjoyed it, so... Maybe I do have to go to the swamp. No, it didn't. I mean, I thought it did, but it didn't react to it, right? So... There's a blue one right here. What if I just sit in there? There's also fish water. Yep, sure is. Come on, fish. No, 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 no. Ow. And fish water. I haven't played that either. I think it's more, I'm saying it's just more sneaky, right? And that's not usually my jam in general in those type of games, but I've heard good things about that one too. Clearly that one had a very active following too from popular series. I was going to run into that thing there and activate it, but that worked out so well. These puzzles now are getting harder and harder. You have to get really close, or if it's the right one. So, yeah, that's the thing too. I'm wondering. There's so many of them. There can't be just a coincidence that they're here, and I forgot.
Did you heard those lightning moles back underground? You should hurry. The direct sunlight isn't good for them.
Hope the lightning bolts back underground. Let's see. Herd the moles into their holes. Okay. Where are the moles? Good to know where the Precursor basin is too. I was in here earlier, right? But I'm in Rock Village now. This is Rock Village. This is a Precursor basin. Where are they? Alright, Reverend, thanks for stopping by. We're all going to call it here soon, too. It's getting pretty late. And I'll be just kind of spinning our wheels here soon, too. Doesn't get up there, but I feel like there should be a vehicle here, and I need to go up there, but I can't. Maybe the mayor has to, like, unlock this or something first. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, for sure. Do it again sometime. I will be out of town next week on a conference for work, so I'll be not be streaming next week, but we'll see on Thanksgiving. So anyway, we'll stream eventually, but not next week anyway. Okay, there's one of those. So you really have to make it all the way from this one. Wish I could turn the camera before I ran. There's no way to make that. Yeah. Ah. Now it's Ignite. So big Microsoft thing. Should be entertaining. Hope so. Hopefully learn a few things. Well, yep. I can go up here too. I never checked that out. Here we go. Sounds like the workshop of the guy who built the thing, the stuff. Such collecting. That's the core mechanic of the game. Is just trying to collect everything, right?
Hey!
Oh.
We're still waiting. Turn on the teleport gate.
That's true. Which I'm having a soft spot for now. But I thought, because there's been so many vendors reaching out and stuff like that, I thought I should wear like a t-shirt that says like no solicitors or like I'm not interested or something like that. Yeah, teleport.
I don't think I'll ever get used to that teleporter tingling sensation.
Oh,
hey,
teleporter now.
It looks like the Blue Sage threw a party.
Oh my! Rock Village is on fire!
One heck of a party.
No, I mean Rock Village is being bombarded with flaming boulders.
Yeah, we know that. I should have gotten to this hut first.
And it looks like the Blue Sage is working on a levitation machine to move them. Assuming it's operational, we're gonna need power cells to fuel it. I guess you two are going to have to find some more.
We'd better take a look at his notes. Jack, go check on the villagers. Then come back and give us an update. And take the furball with you. Well, the situation here stinks worse than a lurker's armpit. Before Blue Sage's disappearance, he journaled significant trouble in all of the surrounding areas.
Could have gone there first, I think. It was funneling in here, but
is the dark eco-infection of some innocent plants in the Precursor Basin. Kira will teleport your Agrab Zoomer to the
yeah, we might park it there pretty soon after this is finished here, this little cutscene, but before starting on the next thing. But it's a fun game, so I like to continue playing it. Probably on my own.
Miss a single plant.
I'm sure we'll stream this again, but we'll see.
The ones will slowly reinfect the healthy ones. And Daxter, start cleaning up in here, and don't forget the corners.
Okay.
Apparently, the precursor structure just off the coast leads to an underwater lost city. The Blue Sage has been trying to figure out
This is
how
a
he can
very
bring one
large
of the
game.
chambers to the
There's many
surface,
things you can
but
do
he
in
was
this one.
never successful. You should check it out.
Aren't there a lot of lurker sharks in that water?
Why? Are you scared?
Hey, of course not.
Where that I'm going to the keynote, but I don't think Game Studio's showing up, but I know Nvidia is there and AMD is there and stuff like that. So
over the coral reef, I doubt the lurker sharks will bother
yeah, it's kind of
you.
Microsoft's jam, and now they're wanting money back from their huge investments, right? So they're making.
What could have happened to him?
Okay, you can teleport now. So that's better. Considering how big the game has been so far, that was the first time I managed a teleporter thing. Lord. Yep, that's right. Very impressive game anyway, but yeah, I think we're going to probably park there because I'm getting tired too. It's been a long day, but I'm just blown away by how cool this game is, and considering this is an early title too for the PS2, that's a heck of an achievement, and makes me a little angry at some of the later games that are not nearly as polished or good. But I know Naughty Dog is, of course, a top-tier developer, so there's that part. But this is a gorgeous game, considering the platform, wide open, no loading screens, great character animation. I mean. I believe it does. That's the is it emotion? It's the emotion engine in the PS2 or the PS3? I can't remember. But this one has that. That's what you're doing with the software. Is you're modifying the render to switch the output. Because you can render out to almost anything. You can do 1080i and stuff like that. 720p if you want that. And it handles that just fine. You just got to flip the bit, as it were, and you can do that through software. But anyway, yeah, a really cool game. I'll probably play it a little more, honestly, at some point. Nice comfort food game, even though it's mildly frustrating here and there. But now I'm gotten. Well, let's see, how far did we get tonight? A quarter of the game. So, just a quarter of the game, considering how many things we picked up and did already. That's a pretty substantial game. I see what Johnny was saying earlier. It's a 50 to 60 hour if you do everything in the game, and I believe that because it's got to be hunting everything down. It's got to be brutal. Versus just getting through the game. It's a very different story, right? So, yeah, cool game. We'll stream more of the PS2 for sure. There's plenty more games on it. I can do a little sneak preview here. If I do, let me make sure I've saved first. I can actually show real quick. Save. All right. We will do this. Thought it was anyway. There's a way to push the buttons to get back into the OPL menu, but it's not really working. Nope. Anyway, I was going to show just the list of games that are on here. It's substantial. The hard drive is pretty nice and loaded up, but we'll do that some other time. Because if I reboot it, we'll go to 480i, and it's a whole bunch of stuff, so we'll leave it to that. But yeah, cool game. I'm definitely going to play it some more. I'm curious to see on the other Jak and Dexter games now, too, and I guess the HD remaster would be a nice one to have on PS3, because I imagine this game scales very well up to 720p and up, considering the art style is really cool, and I imagine it looks very crisp. But it was a pretty nice experience on the Vita, I bet, too, so... Anyway, I appreciate everyone hanging out. and have a good night. And I will see everyone eventually. I'll see you guys online and everything, since I'll be out all next week, out of town, and then Thanksgiving. But I'll be online and everything. So thanks for hanging out, and have a good night and a good weekend. I'll see you next time. Good night.